In this film, I'm going to give you tips for anyone doing the Great North Run. This is a race that I've done more than 10 times. It's local to me here in Newcastle, and so I think that I've got some insider tips which are going to make your day, your race more enjoyable and more successful. So let's jump into it. My first tip is all about getting there early. This is a race with over 60,000 people, so the metro system which serves Newcastle does get overloaded with people. You've got all the people going to the race, all the spectators, their friends, their family who want to get to somewhere on the race to watch it or watch at the start. So do get there early. I would normally get the metro at about 8 a.m. for a race that's starting at 10:30, which is really early, but you also then get to soak up the atmosphere when you get into Newcastle. It's a great party atmosphere, having all these runners who are excited to do their race, lots of people in costume, lots of people doing charity runs. If you're staying in the centre of Newcastle, you don't really need to get the metro, you can just walk to the start. Again, I'd suggest getting there early just to soak up that atmosphere, but do consider the number of people who are doing this race and the problems that can cause you. So with all of those people doing the race, toilets is something that you're probably thinking about, worried about if you've not done this race before. There are a lot of toilets for the Great North Run. There are cubicles, urinals, there's lots of bushes, so it's pretty well served by toilets. A top tip is that the race isn't that far from the hospital in Newcastle, which has really nice clean toilets, so if you want a last minute private moment in a nice clean toilet, you can quite easily sneak into there. So I really don't think toilets are a problem. Once you get into your corrals, there are no toilets, so you'll have to get into your corral I think about half an hour before you start the race. A lot of people sprint the first kind of mile and then have a pee in covered area off the view of the BBC TV cameras. But yeah, lots of toilets. So getting there early, you are going to be hanging around for a while. It's really important to have some warm clothes. Have a search at the back of your wardrobe, go to a charity shop and pick up like a £2 jumper. Just get something that you can wear to keep you warm at the start of the race. You might want to get a bin bag if the weather forecast is rainy, put that over the top. Make sure that you're going to be comfortable at the start because you do have a lot of hanging around. And then once the run starts, you can deposit your clothes at the side, they get recycled, which is all brilliant, and you're ready to run your race. So talking about sprinting off, I think that's a problem which is especially bad with the Great North Run. The run starts on a downhill and it's pretty tempting. In fact, I'd say it's pretty hard to resist sprinting off. You've got all these people who are excited, everyone's running off, and with the downhill, I'll put a picture up here. This is elite athletes and me just behind them. I should not be there, but I got carried away. Always happens in most races for me, but the Great North Run is especially bad because of that downhill. You go downhill, then you hit the Tyne Bridge, then you're going to have an uphill for a while to get up the other side. So if you go too fast down that downhill, you're going to hit that uphill and it's going to really slow you down. It's really going to hurt. So pace yourself, take your time, don't let the crowd push you along too much. So you've settled into your race and you've got a nice pace that you're feeling comfortable at. One thing that you'll find is that running in a big race like this with lots of support is easier than doing your training run on your own or with your friends. The Great North Run is massively supported. There's crowds pretty much all the way around the course, especially at the start, especially at the finish, and they will lift you and help carry you on. So really try and enjoy that moment. This is something that you've worked towards. This is a special day, so take a minute to just appreciate the fact that you're running across the Tyne Bridge with all these people cheering. It is an amazing moment. As you're coming towards the end of the race, you will drop down onto the seafront at South Shields, and that's when you know that the race is really done. There are huge crowds there to carry you along that last mile and a half, so really enjoy that moment. You know when you hit that downhill and you're on the seafront that you're nearly home. Once you cross that finish line, you will get your t-shirt, your medal, and really enjoy that moment. But be aware that there's a lot of other people who are finishing the race as well, and not many people are staying in South Shields. Everybody wants to get out of the finish town, so there's huge queues for the metro. You might want to consider the bus. I get the ferry to the other side of the river, but I wouldn't hang around. I would get out of Shields and get back to Newcastle, get across the river, find a bar, enjoy a celebratory drink. But yeah, just be aware of all of those people, all the runners, all the supporters who are going to be trying to get out of town, and don't be stuck in a queue for 2 hours. So that's my top tips as someone who has done the Great North Run more than 10 times. It's a fantastic race, looking forward to doing it again this year, and I hope I'll see you at the start line. If you've got tips that you think I should have included in this, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to come back to this video, add some of your ideas as well. So thanks for watching.